Welcome to another episode, everyone. My goodness, this individual here. Well, he shot someone in the head and he served about 10 years in prison for this dastardly crime. And then he paroled. They let him out. And he's back in jail for some guns. And it gets out of hand at this parole hearing. He gets out of hand, throws a tantrum. And check this out.
Going back to 2011, you had an assault first charge where you shot someone in the head.
That's my case, my last case, yeah. But my last incarceration.
And here you are today again with two more gun charges.
And you heard correctly. His last charge in 2011.
And here you see it. This is my guy Mandu. Shout out to my guy Mandu and his channel. This dude here, man. Check this out.
And was for shooting someone in the head. So you might be wondering, wait. His last charge, what is this parole hearing for? And that's because he was paroled. He served just about 10 years for shooting someone in the head. And while on parole, he caught a new felony, possession of a firearm. Who could have thought that would happen? And given just a 5 years flat sentence, parole eligibility after serving half of it. As Actual Justice Warrior says, this Beba Angel Aladdin is a violent, dangerous felon. He's also a man baby. He's going to throw a tantrum during his parole hearing, but it's a tantrum that I continuously throw against the agenda-driven, dangerous district attorneys and judges that put these dangerous felons back into the street. It is unhinged. It's insane. You shoot someone in the head, you get out on parole and commit another felony and get just 5 years. And to make things worse, he owed probation for his last offense, but his 5 years is running concurrently with his probation. That's why he said he took the 5-year flat sentence. So he's eating into his probation time. So when he gets out at the end in 2028, regardless of the outcome of today's hearing, he won't even have any supervision. Make that make sense. Anyways, let's jump into another insane, unhinged Connecticut parole hearing.
Carlos Figueroa, number 378099.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Carlos Figueroa, 378099. Is serving a sentence of 5 years jail flat for criminal possession of a firearm, ammo, defense weapon, and illegal sale of purchase of a large capacity magazine. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility date of June 3rd, 2026 at 50%. There is no victim input in this case. There is an offender accountability plan for the offender. It has been reviewed and shows the offender has not completed any of his original recommended OAP programs to date. He is currently on the wait list for voices, anger management, good intentions, bad choices was removed from his OAP, and addiction services was added per his RT screen. Utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system, the offender overall score falls within the high range of risk for recidivism. Mr. Figueroa, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning to the honorable members of the parole board. My name is Carlos Figueroa, number 378099, and I'm currently serving time for possession of a firearm by a felon. This letter is to respectfully request consideration for my early release on parole. I would like to begin by saying that I take full
Oh man, these people crazy. If you talk like that on the street, so damn nice and professional, you wouldn't be in this damn situation. You carrying all these 9mm and AKs, shooting people in the head, and then getting out and carrying guns. and then get up in a parole hearing and talking like he in church. Like he praying to Jesus. I like to thank the Honorable, man, what the hell? People crazy, man.
Responsibility for my actions and the poor choices I've made that have led me here. There are no excuses for my past behavior, and I know that I have made a serious mistake, one that has cost me my freedom, possibly my future, and even someone's safety. During my incarceration, I've had the opportunity to reflect deeply on my life, the decisions I've made, and the people I've hurt, including myself and my family. I allowed my pride and poor judgment to guide me instead of reason. And I realize now that I was living without purpose or direction. The man I was then is not the man I am today.
Okay, so we saw the OG, a gangster who went to the parole hearing and said, either y'all gonna parole me or you're not. I'm not here to beg. I did what I did. Either you're gonna let me go or you're not. And I heard a lot of people in the comments saying that they agreed with the OG, that he stood on business, that he wasn't there to kiss their ass. They probably wasn't not gonna let him go anyway. And so they respected what he did in the comments. You all said that. Now we have a situation where this individual, I'm not going to say is kissing their ass, but he's taking a different approach than the OG took, clearly. He wants out. He's talking about his future. He's reflecting on how he messed up. Never going to do it again. Got a whole letter right there that he's reading off, all professional and church-like, preacher-like, saying that he's a changed man. He's essentially throwing himself upon the mercy of the parole board here, at least to start off with. I have not seen this. I truly have no idea if he's going to be paroled or not. My guess is no. Just because that's just the way it is. Which then, if that's the case, will make what the OG did make that much more sense. When he went in there and said, either y'all gonna parole me or you're not. I'm not here to kiss y'all ass, man. I did what I did. I got 5 months left. You can let me go or you can let me go back to my cell. What you gonna do? Because you go in there like this with these long letters and I'm so sorry and I'm gonna do right for the rest of my life and it'll never happen again. And I've learned my lesson and you sound articulate and intelligent and all that. And they still deny you? Are they still finna deny him after all of this? Because if so, you should have just did what the OG did then. Fuck it. I'm just saying, I don't know. But we're about to find out if this approach works, where you go in there and you throwing yourself upon the mercy of these people and you saying, hey, please let me out. I'm a changed man. Please. In so many words. And they still deny you? Are they still about to deny him? If so, you should have went in there just like the OG did. Hey, I'm out of here in 2028, 2026. You gonna let me go or you're not? Shit, because all this and they don't let you go anyway. I don't know. Let's see.
Since being incarcerated, I've dedicated myself to change. Although I haven't completed my program on my OAP, I'm taking every opportunity to learn, grow, and to understand what it truly means to be a responsible man. I've learned to think before I act and to value integrity and accountability. I've also made peace with my past and developed a plan for my future. If granted parole, I intend to reapply at my last job as a laborer in a small warehouse in my town. I've also had a job offer from a friend to work at a local tire shop. I just want to continue to be a better person and make better choices in life. I want to give back to my community, my mentoring the youth to take the right path in life. I have the full support of my family and loved ones who are ready to help me transition and continue my path a path of positive change. I understand that parole is a privilege and not a right, so I do not take this opportunity lightly. I'm committed to living by the law and proving that people can change when they truly want to.
I mean, man, I'm sold. Sign me up. Shit, talking about saying all the right things. He takes responsibility for his actions. His family supports him. He has jobs lined up. He has trades. Jeez. Is he still going to be denied after all of this? We're not talking about his past crime of shooting someone in the head. He did his time for that and went home. This case is different. This case is a gun case. That's what he's in here for right now. A gun charge. Or two guns or something. But 5 years probation or something he had. I guess he's violated and now he's in there trying to get out. But he's saying a whole lot and saying all the right things. But I just have a sneaky suspicion, knowing the system the way that I do, that these people are about to be unmoved by any of this shit. He about to go down. Watch what I tell you. His ass out of here. They don't care about none of it. Watch. He's done. He cooked, man. He cooked because of his past crime. Boom, shooting somebody in the head. He cooked. Watch. That's what they gonna harp on. Not just that, but you back in here for 2 more weapons, showing a tendency, a propensity to be violent for sure. What were you gonna do with the weapons? Why are you possessing 2 firearms after you have already been convicted, even in your early life, of shooting someone in the head with a firearm? It's the question I'm sure they will have for him. Any common sense person will have for him. And they're going to hold it against him. You watch what the hell I tell you.
Lastly, I would like to thank each and every one of you here today for your time and this opportunity. I have learned from my past, and I'm ready to prove through my actions that I am a mature, responsible, and changed man. With respect and sincerity, thank you. That is all.
All right, thank you, Mr. Figueroa. That's great that you were able to put something together for us today. We're going to be asking you some questions this morning, and after we're done with our questions, we'll deliberate and give you our answer about parole. And Ms. Chance is going to begin with the questions this morning.
Hello again, Mr. Figueroa. I was reviewing your files and I appreciate what you're saying today. I look at the fact that you have not completed any programs, and that's something as board members we take very serious. When you talk about wanting to change and working on yourself, we view the programs that you take, your participation in them.
Yes.
And I have not seen where you have taken any program. So, for example, addiction services was added, rightfully so, because your drug score is a 4.
Yes.
And you're on the list for voices because your 2 charges involve guns, which poses a serious risk to public safety.
Yes.
So I want to ask you and go back. You have your 2 DRs are for Friday.
Yes.
So how did that come about? There's one in December and one this past May.
The one in December, it was all over a basketball game. Somebody thought I was saying, talking junk on the court. And I was trying to diffuse the situation by telling him I wasn't saying nothing to him or nothing direct to anybody. He just thought I said something and he hit me. So I defended myself in that situation. I didn't start that fight at all.
So how else could you have handled that?
How else could I have handled that? I really honestly tried my best by telling him, like, yo, I didn't say nothing to you. I don't know what you're talking about. Because I knew this guy, like, just the day before we were joking and talking.
I don't know how else. Help me out, lady. How else could you have handled that? I have no idea. You got another way? I need to hear this shit. You have another way of handling someone walking up to you and punching you. What is he supposed to do? Run? Lay down? And get punched some more or kicked or whatever? He's not allowed to defend himself? Everyone is allowed to defend themselves. Every person, every animal, everything on earth is allowed to defend their existence. You better not allow anyone to put their hands on you, to hurt you, to take something from you. People die when you get punched sometimes, just from a punch, yes. No, how else could you have handled that? You tell me. What was he supposed to do? I need to hear what the hell she for. I need to know. What else was he supposed to do? I need to know this myself.
Each other. For him to think that, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, and then you got another fighting one in May. What was that one for?
That one, somebody mistaken me for someone that they might have thought I was, and I just got hit in the middle coming from the child hall. Somebody thought I was somebody else from the streets. I didn't know who he was at all whatsoever.
And what happened?
Oh, he just hit me, and then I turned around like I didn't know who was hitting me, so I just fought back. And sort of defended myself, to be honest.
Yeah. So again, Mr. Figueroa, I think you still have some more work to do there. Looking at your history, you going back to 2011, you had an assault first charge where you shot someone in the head.
That's my case, my last case, yeah. But my last incarceration.
And here you are today again with 2 more gun charges. And Mr. Figueroa, those are pretty serious charges. And you were released to parole in 2022. And then a year later, you were returned with no charges.
Yes.
So you have 5 years flat today, and I hope you understand why they gave you 5 years flat.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so I hear you saying that, you're learning to be a responsible person and you want to give back to your community, and you realize that you weren't living without purpose and you want to redo that. But for me, the only thing that's going to help you right now, Mr. Figueroa, is for you to do those programs on your OAP. Getting into those 2 fighting, I don't know why encouragement was removed. Because I think there was another way out that how you could have handled those 2 situations.
I really could. If somebody just hit me out of nowhere, I can't control that. That's a situation I really can't control. My last incarceration, I did 12 years without a single fighting ticket. These 2 situations, I can't handle that. If somebody just hits me and I go to the box, they're gonna give me a ticket. But I have proof of my for the programs. I've been writing to get invoices since April 8th, 2025. And then I asked my counselor.
Yeah, he trying, but he's cooked. You heard her already. she said, she immediately said, you have some, I appreciate all of that, but you have some more work to do. He's done, bro.
A few in July, what programs I have to do. He only told me I have to do voices. And then to make sure I rewrote my
I believe that you're trying to get into the programs. It's just as of now, you haven't been able to take any. And I also read where you said, you were hanging out with friends and took the guns. And then you said it was because you had PTSD. Why would you say that? Or is that true?
From when I took the guns on this case, yeah, I took the weapons and I was scared. I didn't want to feel like I had to come to jail for stepping out one night. I was doing actually
scared of what? Scared of what?
That somebody might be out to get. Now I realize I didn't need a weapon, to be honest. Like, I was so nervous about being out. Like, a lot of crazy stuff happens in the world. I don't know why I carried a weapon. I don't need it. But I know I did. And it was a dumb move to make.
Right. So for me today, Mr. Figueroa, I don't find you suitable because I do believe that you need to take the programs on your OAP.
I have 3 requests showing that I've been trying for
I understand
that.
I understand that you have requested, but as of right now, you have not taken them. So
because they don't place me in the programs. I've been writing since 7-8 months ago to start the program, and they're not. I got proof. They're telling me I'm on the waiting list, and then they're only telling me I only have to do voices. I just wrote my counselor yesterday. He said all you have to do is so tier 4 addiction services. I don't know where I completed that in my last incarceration. I don't know where all of that came from.
You completed tier 4. But you said you don't feel that you need relapse prevention plan. So I don't know what's going on there, Mr. Figueroa. I think you have to kind of work that out with your counselor. But from my perspective today, you do need addiction services and voices programs. Okay? So good luck, sir. Here.
Thank you, Ms. Chance. Mr. Rodriguez?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, Mr.
So much for deliberation. They said when they started off, we're going to talk, exchange, have a conversation. Then we're going to go back and deliberate and come back. She just told them all damn a deliberation. She already said she votes for no, but they're all, there's 3 people voting. And so it's the best out of 3, I guess. The 2 out of 3 wins the vote. So she says no. But it's not a no yet. There are 2 more people that will have to say no, or at least 1 more out of the 2 has to say no. Then he's cooked.
Figueroa, basically in the same place. This is your history, and you've got to be able to take care of some of the things that you're doing by taking these programs. And we realize that sometimes you get a ticket. And by the way, if you get a ticket, it makes it even harder to get into a program. So you can't get a ticket. You can't get a funny ticket. Even if they were cleared, you cannot get a ticket and still think you can get into these programs. You said you asked for it in April and you got a ticket in May. You said you asked for the program in April and you got a ticket in May. Right. So it makes it more difficult and more challenging for you to get chosen for those things.
The only program
you're gonna have to keep trying. I mean, I think
I've been trying, bro.
Your opening statement. Yeah, I realize you're gonna have to keep trying.
I've been trying, bro.
You're gonna have to keep trying.
I'm showing you dates for months, and therefore addiction services was never on my thing. They telling me all I had to do was voices. I just wrote my counselor yesterday. He said, "Voice."
That's not what we have. That's not what we have on our file.
Well, that's so what file? They not matching up. You got my counselor looking up a program. You're not telling me nothing.
You'll need to talk to your counselor again.
So how does this work? So it's just
we want what's best for you, but we also have to consider your suitability. We have to consider community safety, public safety. So we want to see the programs. That's what we want to see. So
what programs specifically do I have to do?
That's kind of where we're at.
What
That's kinda where we're
program
at.
specifically? Because they told me voice it. The whole jail, I rate them. Your professionals that work for y'all is telling me all I have to do
Good,
is voices.
they're push to get the voices then.
But now y'all telling me I gotta do tier 4 and all this extra stuff. Like,
You said addiction services. I don't think anybody said tier 4, but we said addiction services.
that's tier 4. It's the same thing.
That's a tier
It's
program. That's a tier program.
All right, man. When we get this done, it's
And I don't want to take away from your opening statement and the fact that you really are trying to, put yourself together. But you got to be able to do these. I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Ms. Figueroa, I'm not going to talk about the programming again. You hadn't started the 5 years of probation from your prior sentence? I was looking, did they terminate your probation, or do you still have to do that probation once you finish this?
That's the reason I took 5 flats, so I can finish that probation up.
And so you're all done. Okay. All right. Okay. And your mother it says you can go and live with her once you're released, so you got some support in the community. That's important.
Yes.
And a
Absolutely.
potential job. That's good. Okay. Okay, we're all done with the question portion of today's hearing. So we will deliberate. Ms. Chance?
So, Madam Chair, Mr. Figueroa, his criminal history is concerning to me. And the fact that his current charges are possession of guns, when in 2011 he shot someone in the head, is very concerning. He had 2 DRs for fighting, and I don't feel his explanation was appropriate. I asked him what else he could do, and he said there's basically nothing. I don't understand why they took anger management off, because I thought that would be something that would have helped him. Today, I don't find Mr. Figueroa suitable because he has not completed any programs. He said having the guns had to do with his PTSD. I don't know if he's addressed that problem. And when I look at his criminal history, it is concerning. So I don't find him suitable today.
Mr. Rodriguez?
I do not find absolutely either. Basically the same reason, Madam Chair. I still think he needs to do the programs as well.
Yeah. And, just for the record, Mr. Figueroa was on parole when he was arrested, and he was granted parole under the Juvenile Reconsideration Act 1584, and he was granted parole by our board. So those are very important hearings for this board. And when someone goes out and violates their parole after such a short time for a similar offense involving a firearm, we think it's very important that, additional programming, if necessary, be done, that there not be any.
That's not necessarily a similar offense. I mean, it's a violent offense per se, I guess, having a firearm, but, you didn't use a firearm. It's totally different having a firearm than using a firearm and shooting someone in the head with it. A lot of people have firearms for different reasons. Protection. People legally have weapons in their homes, concerned about protecting their family. I'm not saying that's why he had the firearms, obviously. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, he may have been driving around with them, or just, obviously an ex-con, an ex-felon, particularly for a violent crime, is not going to be allowed to have a firearm. I cannot have a firearm legally. No way. So, because of my past history, but many people can. And many people have firearms, as I said. So, I'm just saying, they said that it's a similar crime, this here, to his past crime. No, I mean, it's similar in a sense, I guess, that it involves a firearm. But In that case, he assaulted someone with a firearm. Apparently tried to kill him. Shit, you shooting him in the head. You tried to kill him. So doing that, shooting someone in the head and having a firearm, as I said, you can have it for protection or whatever. Those are two different things.
Disciplinary reports. So I also do not find Mr. Figueroa suitable today. Reasons, nature and circumstance, criminal history, and offense committed on parole.
Yeah.
Yes. And inadequate program participation. Okay. So in the matter of Carlos Figueroa, Reese,
I don't know. He's smiling, but it looks more like a mischievous smile. Mischievous smile, like like he's up to something. Like he's not just about to let this go like that. Like he knew this was coming. I knew it was coming. I'm sure he did too. I knew this was coming. You motherfucker, I got something for y'all. This is probably where he makes his move right here. Let's see.
78099 and make a motion to deny parole for the following reasons. Nature and circumstance of the current offense, criminal history, current offense committed on parole, and inadequate institutional program participation. By the second? Second. All in favor? Aye. All right, Mr. Figueroa, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
You know, you're not going to have supervision, so the more you put in place prior to your release, the better for you. The better opportunity for success.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
So just flat out denied, right? No comeback, nothing.
No comeback.
So the programs are pointless now, right?
Well, I hope not, because you don't have any supervision once you're done, right? So the more you have to go out there with, the better that we'll never, ever see you again. That's the goal. Never, you're 31 years old. You do not want to spend the rest of your life back and forth.
No, I don't. You're right.
Okay?
Okay.
So do what you can, try and get a job, do the programs. You know, you said you were smoking marijuana. You know, that clouds your judgment. So maybe you figure out how to manage yourself in the community more structured.
What the hell is that music in the I'm trying to Is that Mondu playing that shit?
Okay. Thank you.
Goodbye.
You've been following direction, man. You're going to follow the direction.
I gotta follow direction.
You're going in a positive direction. You're going.
I'll be all right, man. I'll get through this.
Good.
Walk the rest of this down.
Good luck, Mr. Figueroa.
The hearing for Carlos
Yeah,
Figueroa,
me too.
78099. Here you go, Figueroa. Come on in, and if you'd like to refuse, let him know.
Oh, I love the pep talk at the end. Take
Oh man, that was bananas. Oh man. All right. There you have it. They didn't let him go, like I predicted. And they indeed brought up his past multiple times. They used that as the reason that they were not going to let him go for the most part, right? It was his past. That's what they said. You know. And they wanted him to do some programs or whatever. And then they kept telling him to go ahead and take these programs, only to find I thought maybe he had action at getting parole once he took these programs. But then come to find out, as he just said, they're not calling him back to be paroled anyway. He's maxing out 2028. They denied him to 2028. So that's why he said, ain't no need for me to take the programs then. If I take them, y'all still not going to parole me. It's too late. They were saying they wanted him to take them before he got there in order for him to have a chance at parole. But he didn't really go off. He didn't take he didn't throw a tantrum. In fact, he was pretty respectful, for the most part. I mean, but he did all that reading, all that supplicating, if you will, but to no avail. it was all futile. It did not work. After he said all of that stuff, changed his life, never happened again, taking responsibility for everything that happened. He learned so much. He has family support. He has jobs lined up. Everything. Totally opposite of OG, like I said. After all of that, denied all three. Denied with no hesitation. Deliberation. We're going to go ahead and deliberate now. Y'all all already said he was done. You couldn't even hold it in. You couldn't even wait for deliberation. As you were talking, you were saying, you're not suitable. He was cooked, bro. From the start, and I knew it. He was done. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. See? That's why OG just said, you know what? I'm not going to come in here and do all that. Read off this long-ass letter, begging you people, let me out, set me free. I'm different, I've changed. Articulate, intelligent. He was calm and respectful. Nope. You do all that, it doesn't matter to these people. They still book you. So what the hell? Go in there like OG. Hey, you know what? What y'all gonna do, man? Let me go or no? I go back to my cell. Fuck that. Straight up. I respect it, bro. Because all this shit, you know, it's still a no-go. Well, he was cool. He was respectful about it, bro. Maybe he really has matured. And, apparently, you know, he had already expected this. I don't think he really thought he was going to go home. He gave it a good shot. He tried. He came out shooting with his letter and all that. He tried. You know, he put in the effort, but before he even got in there, the stove was on. They was boiling the water before he even walked in. And then by the time he sat down, that shit was cooking. He was already cooked. Bananas. Stay safe and stay free, people.